Hello, thank you for joining us today. My name is Carlene.
And I'm Jay. We are better known as Jaylene.
On this channel, we recap and provide our reviews for Married at First Sight. So today we are reviewing episode 4 entitled Sand, Sun, and Spouses. The couples meet with their in-laws and friends before going on their honeymoon. Also, we see the final wedding of the season, Morgan and Ben. If you enjoyed watching Married at First Sight, please stay tuned and remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, so the first couple up, Kristin and Mitch. Back in their hotel room, they had a laugh at cute jammies. Kristin couldn't find the special pajamas she wanted to wear, and Mitch didn't pack jammies altogether. I thought this banter back and forth was cute. At least they're warming up to each other.
It's a good thing she didn't find her pajamas because I feel that Mitch wouldn't have appreciated it regardless because he's not even into her.
Yeah, but I think Kristen is feeling better about dressing down, and Mitch is looking forward to getting to know the real Kristen. So in his confessional, Mitch talked about not wanting to force anything and feeling pressured. While in the bathroom, we saw Kristen, and she mentioned how she is willing to cuddle if Mitch was into it. Then Kristen asks Mitch if he missed her while she was in the bathroom. I don't know if you guys caught this or not, but Mitch totally avoided that question. Instead, he tells Kristen she looks nice and starts cheesing. I was like, finally, it's about time Mitch showed some interest. They even called each other hubby and wifey, and he complimented her on her pajamas. I remember in a previous episode, Mitch wanted to call his wife wifey, and now he's able to do that. Then they tried to cuddle, but it was dark, so you couldn't really tell.
I wanted to make a comment about that. He didn't say anything. We said, "Did you miss me?" I watched that a couple of times. I'm like, that could have been bad editing on their part because we know how badly they like to make something seem like one thing and it's something else. But yeah.
Then we moved on to the next morning, and Kristen and Mitch, they complimented each other on their sleeping habits. Then they were getting ready to meet with their in-laws and friends. So Mitch met with Kristen's mom and friends. He says he wants to give Kristen 100% and want both of them to be happy. At this point, he learns that Kristen isn't high maintenance, and he seems relieved. Kristen's mom doesn't want him to lie to her and feels that Mitch is honest.
A couple of things stood out to me here when he had the conversation with the mom, and he seems to be very excited speaking to the mom more than Kristen to me. But one thing that Kristen's mom said that for the endeavors about him being an environmentalist and everything, that she feels is going to be more of a problem for Mitch than Kristen trying to adapt. And I agree with that.
Then we saw Kristen meeting with Mitch's brother, sister-in-law, and mom. So Kristen tells them she wants Mitch to feel comfortable and sought advice. Mitch's mom says that he can be brutally honest. Okay, so honesty is the topic in both meetings. That's what I'm seeing here. I know that can be a good thing, but how honest can one be? I hope when Mitch is being honest, it's from a sincere place. And remember, it's not what you say, but how you say it. Then we saw the scene where, all the couples, they got their baskets and they were excited because they were learning their honeymoon was in Mexico. Then we got to Kristen and Mitch, and Kristen, she wanted to open, like those poppers, like she wanted to open that, but Mitch said that he didn't want to and started talking about the environment. You can tell Kristen was disappointed. I'm like, is he going to bring up the environment in every conversation?
I felt she was annoyed, not disappointed, when she said, okay, if you're not going to do the poppers thing, that's fine. And she wanted to wear the t-shirts where it says wifey and hubby. He's like, I'm not wearing the t-shirt. I don't want to wear it. And she's like, well, if you're not going to wear it, I'm going to wear it. Then he said, if you're going to wear it, I'm going to wear it because I'm not going to do you like that. I'm like, what is it with you and titles? Apparently there's something with him and titles. And for the poppers, I felt that if you wanted to pop it in the hotel room, it's not a big deal. You can clean it up and recycle it later.
Mm-hmm. Then we got to the couple ending the night in their hotel room. So Mitch tells Kristin he likes her and her assertiveness. I was like, look at Mitch taking his brother's advice and at least telling Kristin that he's interested. However, he admits to being more guarded than he would like, but he's feeling more comfortable. And Kristin hopes to have progress, a little each day. That's understandable, but is it realistic?
I feel if that was Kristin's mom, he'd be all in, all in. I don't think he's into her at all, at all.
Now we have Lindsey and Miguel. So back in their hotel room, Miguel hopes to talk and cuddle with his new bride. Seems like Lindsey had other plans. You see 10 minutes, Miguel looks at his ring. 15 minutes, Miguel stares into space. 35 minutes, Miguel rubs his face. And Lindsey is in the bathroom cursing up a storm. She talked about the lights not being bright, and she calls herself a crazy person. She couldn't find her pajamas either. Miguel comes in the restroom, right, to see if he could help. But Lindsey was like, I just want to wash my face and put up my hair. Then Miguel told her what he was going to do in the next bathroom. I mean, can you say too much information? Miguel talked about Lindsey spiraling and how in other circumstances it would be a red flag, but he's not turned off because she is his wife.
Correction, he said he's not turned off yet. So we already know it's a red flag since he said it's kind of not a red flag. No, it's a red flag. So pay attention to that going down the line. But I'm thinking, if these pajamas were that so important for you to wear, wouldn't you have put them in a spot where you know you're going to find them?
Then we see them waking up the next morning, and they felt good, waking up to each other. Lindsey says that there is attraction there, and she's feeling butterflies. And she was like, I got married at first sight for someone exactly like Miguel. Then they discussed getting ready to travel and where they would be going on their honeymoon. Lindsey expressed needing basic needs like sleep and snacks while traveling. While Lindsey is a hectic traveler, she's hoping that Miguel is more laid back and will help calm her. This could be a bit much. I mean, while on vacation, he wants to rest, not regulate her blood sugar or mood. She talked about experiencing flight delays and panic and is looking for support from her partner. Yes, traveling can be hectic and uncomfortable, but I'm like, is she experiencing delays on every flight? Like, where are you traveling to? Miguel thinks Lindsey is a little bit of a stress ball, but thinks she's cute.
Well, I agree. That's the only thing that's going to keep him in it for right now is because she's cute. But what she was not really saying was, if you don't feed me, I get cranky. That's what I took from it.
Then Miguel meets with Lindsey's mother, brother, and friend. He learns that Lindsey takes things personally, and they advise him to take his time when getting to know her, especially before having sex.
I agree with that. You don't want to jump into that quickly, especially during this process, because we do know for the couples who did have sex quickly, their marriage did not last. And when you have sex after you get to know a person and you build on that foundation, the sex is going to be better. So we already know that. But what I didn't like was her mom coming out of nowhere asking him, so what about sex? I'm like, that's none of your business about what they doing or not doing behind closed doors.
Then Lindsey meets with Miguel's sister and friend. So Miguel's sister is concerned with Lindsey's zodiac sign. Miguel's sign is a Cancer and Lindsey's is a Gemini, and somehow those signs don't work well together. So I Googled it, and it said that they are not suitable because of their opposing viewpoints on the tiniest of details. Then I Googled our signs, and it says we're compatible, but that's besides the point. I think if they want this to work, they would have to put the effort in to make it work.
Yes, Jaylene, our signs are compatible. We did that match as well when we started dating.
Yeah, then his sister asks Lindy about finances, and she admits to having a lot of student debt. She was like, I thought no one would marry me. But then she was like, I want to live life and work here and there. I think these questions can be tricky because they're sharing personal information with the in laws before they're talking to their spouses about it.
That's one thing I wanted to know more about when she said I work here and there. One, I want to know, not personally, but it's like your salary. Does your salary that you earn let you take off the way you want to take off, the way she's explaining it? Two, it's none of the sister's business to know how much or what your financial situation is like. That's between you and Miguel. So I thought the sister was kind of out of line asking those questions, but I do understand why she did ask those questions, because Miguel has been through that situation where people have taken advantage of him because he makes so much money.
Yeah, afterwards we saw that Lindy was able to speak to Miguel about the debt. And in his confessional, like you're saying, he was like, I don't want to be a sugar daddy because he did have to provide financially in previous relationships. Now we have Stasha and Nate. What was your take on Nate claiming his side of the bed?
I didn't like that. I would have said, Stasha, is there a side of the bed you prefer to sleep on? And then I would say, I prefer to sleep on this side of the bed. Is that okay with you? Not like, this is my side. You gonna take what you gonna take, and that's it. I didn't like that. I felt he could have been more of a gentleman about that part, but that's just me.
Yeah, she had like a shocked look on her face, but she didn't make a big deal about it. She asked him to unzip her dress and proceed into the bathroom. As Nate was getting himself situated, the producers asked, would you rather cuddle or would you rather have sex? I guess this caught him off guard because he had to pause before answering the question.
I thought that was a stupid ass question. If you're asking any man, would you rather cuddle or have sex? 9 times out of 10, the answer is going to be sex. We all know this, especially with his freak in the sheet stuff at the wedding. Come on now.
Stasha, while she was in the bathroom, she talked about having butterflies and how she feels about being in bed with a complete stranger. She says, I'm going to try to keep it cool. She hopes that Nate likes to cuddle because she wants to cuddle. Nate expressed previously that he hopes to have pillow talk and a cuddle session. They are definitely on the same page here. Then Stasha comes out the bathroom and they looked at each other with intensity. I think it's funny when they play the music in various scenes. The lyrics was like, I see the way you look at me. I know you want me for my body, so come closer. I thought I was watching a music video. While in bed, Stasha asked Nate about his expectations, and he basically said he was looking for a best friend. He feels a connection with her and believes they vibe. Then they cuddled and buried themselves under the sheets.
I thought that was a PC answer. His real answer was, I want to hit that. And then if we become best friends, we become best friends. But right now, it's just all pure attraction. Get to know you later type of thing.
Then the next morning, Nate brought them breakfast. And in her confessional, Stasha thought she was going to be matched with a less attractive person. On a scale of 1 to 10, she rates her husband over 100.
I can't wait till we get to decision day so we can play that clip back and see that's going to be the opposite answer. It's going to be more of like a 2 based on what we're going to see. So yeah, as soon as she said that, I'm like, all that in the beginning right now, it's all lust, excitement, and you're being polite. So he's showing his best self right now. So this over 100 thing, that's not going to work.
Yeah, I know she seems like head over heels right now, but it's still the unknown. So yeah, we'll see later on. Nate was happy that Stasha did not sleep with her eyes open. Then they discussed their insecurities. So Stasha talked about miscommunication, shutting down, and not giving her partner what he needs. Nate feels misunderstood and talked about feeling isolated growing up. They both shared how they didn't feel accepted growing up due to their cultures. Stasha is used to spending time by herself and says she doesn't care what others say. However, Nate is still working through this and can be in his head and wants Stasha to nudge him. I think it's a good thing that Nate informed her of this. I just hope he's doing the work also, to help himself. Then we saw Stasha meeting with Nate's dad and friend. She loves to say how she's stubborn and a workaholic. Nate's dad and friend were concerned because Nate can be stubborn too. Nate's dad told her not to hurt his son.
I like the fact that she knows that she's a workaholic, and it was fine when you were single, but as long as she makes the adjustment now that she is married, to put in some time for Nate. The only thing is, like, when Nate's friend Vinny was there, he didn't want to be there. Like, why am I here? Can we get this over with? I got something I got to do.
Then Nate met with Stasha's sister, mom, and friend. When her friend asked about mental health, Nate actually got teary-eyed and shared how his dad never gave up. He talked about seeing his mom once when he was 12 and how he wants his own family. Stasha and Nate met up afterwards, and they were able to reflect on the meeting. And Stasha was happy that Nate is able to express his emotions. Then when they were in Mexico, at the end of the night in their hotel room, Nate acts like he never been in a hotel room and jumped in the jacuzzi jetted tub, like, with his shoes on. I'm like, really? And then Stasha says that Nate wants to take a shower with her to save water. I'll just leave it at that.
When Nate jumped into that tub, I'm like, act like you've been there before. You're embarrassing us. You are embarrassing us. And when it comes to taking a shower to conserve water, air quotes, I can understand that California, we are in a drought where we don't need to be using all this kind of water, but that's a sign of, okay, one step closer to giving her that vitamin D that he wants to do. So, but as I'm looking at that scene, I'm like, now, are they really naked taking a shower and this camera crew is just looking at them filming this? Or do they got bathing suits on, make it seem like they naked taking a shower and the camera crew is just being there being perverted, watching them take a shower and making out? But if you watch After Party, Nate did allude to how after the shower, things got hot and heavy, and then they kicked the camera crew pretty much out, and then she got that vitamin D that he been waiting to give to her.
Okay, now we have Alexis and Justin. So the next morning, they like cuddling with each other. Justin tells Alexis that he watched her sleep for a bit, and yes, that freaked her out. In her confessional, Alexis is feeling comfortable and says Justin feels familiar. After several conversations, she could understand why they were matched. I thought it was cute when they were doing their like role playing with each other, when they're kind of going back and forth.
I agree. I thought that was cute, going back and forth about, can I get your number? And she's like, no, I got a man. He's 6'8". Like, oh, he's 6'8". And that was cute. That was cute. Was anyone else taken aback when Justin appeared with his shirt off in a confessional? Or is it just me?
Yeah, that kind of caught me off guard. Then we're moving along to when Alexis met with Justin's mom and friend. So right off the bat, she tells them that he's still celibate.
What is the point of her telling and announcing to everybody he's still celibate? I don't understand it.
His mom asked about her previous relationships. She says how many times she has been proposed to and how she had unrealistic expectations in the past.
The mom asks, or the friend asks, have you ever been married before? Y'all know what she said. I've been proposed to 3 times. That was not the question. No one cares that you've been proposed to 3 times. Did any of those 3 times have a ring come with it? If not, you were not proposed to?
They told Alexis how sensitive Justin is, and she says she could handle it and is respectful. I'm wondering if Alexis is taking Justin's sensitivity into consideration because she was told this at the wedding and now she's hearing it again. Then, when Justin met with Alexis' sister and mom, he tells them how he wants to make Alexis happy and the ways he can do that. Alexis' sister said, how would Justin advocate for his needs? He basically wants the actions to be reciprocated. Justin he's always giving of himself. And, this can be tricky and very concerning because I don't know if Alexis is going to match that energy. I can see Justin feeling resentful, if he's not getting that same type of attention back. I hope he can pull back a little bit.
There was one scene, I don't know if they were at the airport getting ready to go to Mexico, but Justin was sitting next to Alexis and he was saying pretty much that either he loves her or will love her, or he's already in love with her. And the look on her face, you can tell Justin is not reading the room. This is the second time he said something similar to this, and she's not taking to it well. I understand from her aspect where we just met, and that's uncomfortable for her right now. But I wish Justin could just read the room. But hopefully when he go back and maybe look at this tape, he can see how he came across to her.
Okay, now let's talk about when the couples sat down on their honeymoon in Mexico. They wanted to know about each other's first impressions. So with Kristin and Mitch, Mitch basically said how he thought Kristin's mom was his wife.
There we go with Mitch again, bringing up the mom. We know that's the wife he wish he would have had instead of Kristin.
And then with Lindsey and Miguel. So Lindsey states that being calm is out of her character. Miguel says he feels very comfortable and intimate with Lindsey on many different levels. Then Nate asks Miguel to define physicality. Basically, Miguel feels when he makes a move, Lindsey shuts him down. Lindsey really wants to get to know Miguel and set boundaries. I think if Lindsey communicates her pace and comfortability of intimacy to Miguel without shutting him out, he will continue and not feel bad.
I don't think he had a problem when he was trying to give her that vitamin D that she turned him down. It's just that I think he was kind of joking around with her, with the group, stating that, but he's making his intentions known that, okay, I'm attracted to you physically. I'm ready to go and give you this vitamin D when you're ready to take it.
Then Sasha and Nate. So Nate talked about being nervous at the altar, but was happy when he saw Sasha. He felt that they had chemistry. They have many similarities, like finishing each other's sentences, buying the same gifts, and now buying the same toothpaste. Sasha was told by her friends that she's the male version of Nate. Is that a good or bad thing?
Oh, that's a bad thing.
When Alexis and Justin talked about, first impressions, they shared how they actually matched on Hinge. Alexis was saying that they could have been married like 4 months ago, but that timing wasn't right. It was like she was completely ignoring him when he reached out to her. Alexis tells everyone, that her husband is celibate. Justin talked about how he is stimulated sexually and started sharing more information that no one really cared about. It was like watching someone trying to tell you something and you're doing all that you can for them not to tell you, and for some reason they just don't get the hint. That's how it was watching that scene.
Again, Justin, read the room. Read the room. No one wants to hear how hard your vitamin D is. I don't understand why you want to announce that. You could have just said, I find my wife very attractive, very sexually attractive, and left it at that.
Now, the final wedding of the season, Morgan and Ben. Before the actual ceremony, we see Morgan getting ready. She states that she is nervous, and this is the most nervous she's ever been in her life. And she actually works as a nurse. Then she talked about her dad not coming because she didn't tell him. She had a rocky childhood and she's trying to set boundaries, and even states that she's going to walk herself down the aisle. Morgan talked about being independent and wanting to give herself away. I was thinking, what if her dad was watching the show and like see his daughter getting married because she didn't even tell him that she was getting married? Then on Ben's end, it showed him with a negative COVID test, and he talked about getting married one day before his 30th birthday. He even said that he was willing to pay for a second honeymoon. I know he's remorseful since the wedding was postponed.
I was extremely shocked. I think my mouth dropped when he said I would pay for it. I'm like, yo, cheap ass gonna pay for something?
Yeah, then when he was meeting with his groomsmen, Ben was trying to figure out like a code word or a signal to know if his parents were okay with everything. And, he was seeking his mother's approval. Then before walking down the aisle, Ben gives his mother flowers and tells her if she doesn't like his future wife, just let him know and they can work something out. Talk about being cautious. He's already allowing his mother to interfere in the marriage, and he isn't even married yet. Now we saw the actual wedding ceremony. Ben had a big smile on his face when Morgan was walking down the aisle. As he puts his hands out to greet her, Morgan says, "Don't shake my hand, hug me." Look at that. She's bossing him around at the first meeting. I liked how Ben memorized his vows. When they were being introduced and Morgan was informed that Ben is a mama's boy, she paused. Morgan says that she's okay with it. And on after party, she says that she's close to her mother too. I know how a man treats his mama is a great indication of how he would treat his wife. I hope there's a balance and Ben remembers that he has a wife now. After they say their I do's and walk off, they have a chance to meet alone. So Morgan is so independent that she opens the champagne bottle. And I think it's good that they find each other attractive, and they seem happy so far.
I agree. I like how they're getting along right now. I just always like how whenever they bring up her Muay Thai, that he kind of takes a step back or let go of her hand because he's afraid getting his ass whipped by her.
Okay, well, that's all we have for episode 4. Thank you for joining us today. What are your thoughts on episode 4? We'd love to hear from you. Also, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos.
Catch you guys next week.
Bye.